Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another almost hour of Talk. I have tonight a very special guest. I've been working real hard to get her on my show, and it's finally happening. I think all of you out there are going to be pleasantly surprised. It's a totally different direction than the music I've been bringing you, which is probably going to make a lot of you very happy. But I have with me tonight Connie Howard. Connie, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I was listening to some of your stuff. You have so much going on that it's tough to know where to begin. I mean, so I'm going to just start out. I got all this stuff here. Sometimes I never follow what I have.
Sure.
Connie plays piano and sings. She's played everywhere you can imagine, and she's done tunes from Broadway to country, I believe, down in Nashville. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Some of her songs have been used in, I believe, Broadway plays, if I'm not mistaken. Other people have recorded your stuff. You've recorded well, how many CDs you have out now?
I think I've got 3 officially, and then even more songs on iTunes because I've been releasing singles. That's kind of the trend these days.
Yeah.
Instead of pressing a whole CD, we'll just release a couple singles as we record.
So you've been at this a very, very long time. Since what, 4?
I've been playing the piano since I was 4. That's true. Yep. My grandfather was my first teacher, so he was a great teacher and inspired me to really, do what I love. So I followed that passion.
I read that little bit here where you were learning how to play sitting on his lap. And I
true.
thought that had to be, I mean, there's got to be a picture of that somewhere.
There is.
Yeah,
actually, I do have a picture of that on one of my CDs.
Wow. So, as I was reading about you, I mean, you've been all over the world.
I've traveled quite a bit, it's true.
And your first gig was in France?
That was the
best
job I've ever had, probably. I don't know why I ever left.
You had to go all the way to France for your first gig?
Yeah, almost. Honestly, I sang in an a cappella group in college, and played in a band, like a small college band. I played keyboard, and there was a bass player and a guitar player. But I hadn't started writing songs until my college boyfriend broke my heart, and he was a songwriter and kind of taught me how to put all those emotions into songs. And so it was right before I graduated, and then went to France, and that's when I started writing.
Sometimes they make the best songs when you're writing about something that's really happening.
It's true, absolutely.
You mentioned you played in some bands. You do solo now, right? I mean, you're not.
I'm pretty much solo. I've played in bands on and off through the years, but I'm more of a piano singer, piano bar type solo artist.
So how long were you in New York performing? I mean, did you live in New York for a while?
In New York, yes, but I had a day job. My day job in investment banking, which was like quite a day job. But I was always doing off-Broadway and doing original music and cabaret shows as well. So eventually, that's what just took over. The more I was doing music there, my sister was living in Nashville, and I would go down and visit and fell in love with the songwriting community down there. And so finally had to quit my day job in New York and move to Nashville. And that's where, during the last 10 years, I've really concentrated on writing all different styles of music and performing and having other people record my songs down there.
When you write, what comes first for you? Is it the lyrics or the music? Or both?
For me, the best songs I think that I've written, they both come together. Like, I'll start just playing around on the piano a little bit and nothing, specific, but as chords come up and changes come up and a certain melody evolves, then words kind of just fall into place. So I tend to write, and I write like that a lot. Otherwise, I'll write music more first. Or I always seem to have title ideas, but I'm not great at just sitting down and writing a whole song lyrically and then putting the music to it. But I love co-writing, and I've done a lot of co-writing with other people who are write just lyrics, and then we'll get together and I'll put music to it. But myself, I tend to write them kind of together.
Cool. I've seen a picture of you online when I was looking at stuff about you, and it shows you playing a piano, and then it showed a little girl on a little, I think it was a pink little baby grand piano.
Oh, yeah.
Is that you?
No, that's actually my niece. She's 4, and she has.
And you got her started.
And she lives in Providence. And her name's Ava, and so they've got her little pink piano, little baby grand. That's right next to the bigger piano. So I've been teaching her every time I go to visit.
Does it make you flashback?
It's really fun. Of course, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Now you also teach.
I have taught. I taught.
Are you teaching?
Not currently, since I've moved up here, which is about 8 months ago, back to the Shoreline. But I did teach pretty much the whole time I was in Nashville.
Sounds like you really like Nashville.
It's a great music city.
It is.
There's just so many different genres of music going on. It's not just country anymore, that's for sure.
Oh, no, country has changed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's borderline rock, some of it.
Absolutely.
I mean, but it must be hard down in Nashville, because, I mean, there's so many fabulous musicians down there.
Right.
And trying to get a little niche out of it, it's got to be extremely hard.
It's extremely competitive.
But
It's extremely competitive.
And you enjoy that.
It keeps you at the top of your game, that's for sure. But also, there's just so many incredible writers and musicians that you can't help but to learn from them. You go out and you hear some, incredible players play, and I think just through osmosis of being there, I became a much better musician and writer too, just from listening. All
right, I'm going to hold off on talking to you a little bit here, because I know there's somebody that's probably watching who's going to be yelling at me if I don't have you play. So could you please play a couple of songs for us?
Absolutely.
Folks, you're in for a treat, trust me. And I have a request, Linda.
This is actually the first song, one of the first songs that I wrote after I moved to Nashville. And it's one of the songs that came together, words and lyrics at the same time. And it won the National Writers Association contest, which really helped open a lot of doors for me in terms of meeting industry people and getting in front of some of the right people while I was there. So I was really fortunate to win that contest. It's called Feel. These days it's just so hard to find some time for me. Phone ringing off the wall and deadlines to me. My only saving grace is at the end of day, when I walk through that door and you take me away, where I can feel like I feel from the day you first found me. Honest and real, more than my wildest fantasies. And I'm flying higher than the stars, lying closely in your arms, where I can feel. Of the daily grind, hard to feel passion with so much on your mind. Sometimes I wonder how my heart survives it all, but somehow it hangs on for when the nighttime falls, and I can feel like I feel from the day you first found me. Honest and real, more than my wildest fantasies. And I'm flying higher than the stars, lying closely in your arms, where I can feel. Feel like I feel from the day
Yes. Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. You got to do
Thank
one
you.
more. You got to
Thank
do
you.
one more. Bravo.
Okay, sure. Let's see. This is kind of a newer song. I wake up real early before the morning light. Trying not to wake you, you're still dreaming through the night. I head into my hectic day, but one thing always gets me through. I can close my eyes, smile and think of coming home to you. Meeting's running over and the boss is on my back. He's talking about something, but my mind is where you're at. Daydreaming out the office blinds, but one thing always gets me through. I can close my eyes, smile and think of coming home to you. I won't worry, I won't care, 'cause one thing's always true. I can close my eyes, smile and think of coming home to you. Traffic is stop and go, and I'm hitting every light. It doesn't even bother me, I'm looking forward to tonight. I can almost taste your kiss, but one thing always gets me through. I can close my eyes, smile and think of coming home to you. I won't worry, I won't care, 'cause one thing's always true. I can close my eyes, smile and think of coming home to you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Why don't you come on over here? Come talk to me. All right, folks, Ms. Connie Howard. Mary Jane, if you could flash her Facebook thing along the bottom here. Anybody out there would like to see more of Connie, get a hold of her, talk to her, you can call the show. This is live tonight, folks. And
Ray just called, but I'm doing audio and a whole lot back here. Hold off phones for 2 minutes.
okay, Ray's special.
All right, you asked for it. I'll be in. That's Ray. Go ahead and take it.
All right. Good evening. You're on Talk Talk. Is that you, Ray?
Good evening. You're on Talk Talk. Is that you, Ray?
Yes.
Ray, turn down your TV.
Is that you, Ray? Yes.
Could I say hi to Connie?
Turn your TV down.
Yes. Could I say hi to Connie? Turn your TV down.
There you are. Could I say hi to Connie?
Yes, you can say hi to Connie.
Hi, Connie.
Hi, Ray.
You did a good job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Piano. No, you're good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Connie, notice this?
What's that, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, she knows who this is?
No, she don't know you, Ray. She's the first.
Oh, my name's Ray, Connie.
Hi, Ray.
I had a call. See how you do it.
Hey, Ray, why don't you listen some more? She's going to play some more music in a little bit. I want
right.
to talk to her for a little bit.
Good night.
Thanks for calling, Ray. Oh, Raymond. I'll tell you about Raymond later. That last song you play, is that on a new CD?
That's going to be released as a single.
It is?
Shortly. We're still finishing up some touches, but I recorded it when I was in Nashville a couple of weeks ago, so.
Do you work with the same musicians when you're recording, pretty much, or you never know who you're going to get?
You know, through the years, different people, but I've almost always worked with the same sound engineer.
Well, that's
He's
very good.
Yeah. He knows my stuff pretty well and how I work, and is always great about arranging to hire the right other musicians that I need for different
That's
songs.
about as important as another musician in the band, really.
Absolutely, yeah, it is.
This latest song that you're doing here, when you get the final product out there, what kind of instruments are you having in your song? Is it kind of like this, like the piano mostly, and
yeah,
and you have a drummer, or?
Well, that one actually was a real treat. We went to a really nice studio this last time I was in Nashville, and I got to play on one of Reba McEntire's old 7-foot grand pianos, and it just sounds spectacular. It's just, on the recordings, it sounds so great. And so there's piano, bass, guitar, electric guitar, and then a friend of mine sang some harmonies too. So it's pretty much a full group.
So how are you to work for?
Oh, easy. I mean, it's so easy. To be really honest, I'm always amazed going into the studio down there because everyone is so prepared and just so talented that they can hear a song and play it really quickly.
Doesn't it,
you know? So I just kind of stay out of the way and let people work their magic.
Doesn't it amaze you the amount of talent that people don't even know about? I mean, it's incredible. I went to New York one time to watch this gentleman do some recording, and I saw this guy sitting in the doorway playing guitar, and he was incredible.
Yeah.
And that's as far as he got, in the doorway. So it's amazing. So I got some other questions here. Do you have a baby grand?
I do have a baby grand, but it's in Nashville.
Why didn't you bring it today?
It's still in Nashville. That's why it's still in Nashville. They're very hard to move around.
Can you?
Unfortunately.
Do you notice the difference between? You must, but the baby grand, especially the baby grand, it's like the king of sound. I mean, as far as I've been told, and as far as I see, everything else is tuned off it, played off it. I mean, it's the mother.
Right.
Do you notice the difference? I mean, from doing electric to having a baby grand, or even just an upright piano, something that's not electric. I mean, do you hear the quality, or have they come so far that you can't tell the difference?
Well, I have to say I'm a real purist when it comes to that. So, like this electric keyboard has a very good, real grand piano sound. It's decent. The sample, they call it, because they record, the original, the acoustic ones, and then put the electric sounds in there. And this one's pretty good, and it's got the real, touch sensitive keys, so that it makes it feel like a real, grand piano as well. But there's nothing like the sound. You just can't beat the strings and the vibration and the wood and everything that those instruments are made of. There's nothing that really compares to it. Still.
When's the last time you were teaching?
Well, I actually moved back here last September, so it's been almost a year.
What's the oldest person that you've taught, or you're teaching?
I had a really wide range, from 5 to about mid-60s.
Okay. Only reason I ask is because I've been toying with the idea of maybe taking piano lessons.
Oh, okay.
But I think, well, maybe I'm too old to be doing that now, but
Never.
I don't know.
Never too old.
Then I got to convince my wife to let me bring a piano in the house. Now, you play all styles of music. I mean, I can't even imagine if you have a song list from day one to now. It'd have to be an incredible list. What's your favorite kind of music?
I love, like the older genres of music, the classic American songbook, Cole Porter and Gershwin and Rodgers and Hart, and a lot of just that genre, the old-timer stuff, I suppose. And then, of course, singer-songwriters, Billy Joel. I grew up listening to, Fleetwood Mac and Billy Joel, Elton John, the great piano players that just wrote such incredible melodies. Carole King,
Yeah.
I have a really wide appreciation for music, though. You know,
Now,
I grew up studying classical, so you know that was really my first passion, and I really enjoy listening to classical music. My fingers aren't quite as, you know,
Well,
I'm kind of out of shape as far as that goes. I don't play too much classical anymore, but I enjoy listening to it.
so you said earlier that your first gig was in France, but I got a feeling you probably performed before that. How old were you the first time your parents threw you in front of a bunch of people to play?
That's probably true. Probably 6 or 7, you know, when I started taking piano lessons.
Were you scared?
Of course, yeah, very nervous. And I still get scared, you know?
Get stage fright?
Oh, terrible. Like the night before a big show, I just can barely sleep and think, why am I doing this? I'm never doing this again. Oh, I hate doing this. And then the minute I sit down and start playing, it all goes away, and I love it.
That was
it's
my
okay,
biggest,
but
that was my
leading
biggest
up
problem.
to it is just.
My biggest problem was stage fright.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you get up there for
I
that
know.
first song or two, it's
It's
nerve-wracking.
true. It's very true.
Do you play any ragtime?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I can play a little, you know, Joplin.
No, I'd seen, not that long ago, I seen an old black gentleman wailing on his piano that looked like it shouldn't even be standing up, and that just captures me, because piano playing to me is like the ultimate in playing an instrument. When you can accomplish that, like I hear you doing, it's a gift. When you get it down like that, where it's such at ease. I mean, do you concentrate on what you're doing, or does it just flow out of you?
Well, especially like standards that I've been playing so long, it's really just second nature, you know. And I practice a lot. I mean, I do before shows and things. I still practice quite a bit. So it does become second nature, though, I think, after a while.
When did you realize you could sing?
I never sang until college, really. It was my college roommate who encouraged me to try out for an a cappella group, of all things. And I thought, oh, there's no way. Like, what would I do without a piano in front of me? Like, I just wouldn't know what to do with my hands, and to stand up and just sing. But I loved it, and it was really good for me, because that's where I started to kind of find that I had a voice. Because even all through high school, you know, I was always the one playing the piano in the pit for the musicals. Like, I never was in a musical or, you know, on stage or anything, because I was always in the band. So thank you. I appreciate that.
No, because you got such a powerful voice. I mean, it seems just so natural, you know, and that's, you know, that kind of voice to me is like you either have it or you don't. It doesn't look like you have to put any work into it when you're performing, which is very nice. I notice on some of your songs, I guess these are new songs, Sailing the Blues. Is that new?
That's a fairly new one.
There's another one here. And the reason I'm asking this is because in the last few years, I've become a blues fanatic.
Okay.
I used to play all kinds of rock, heavy metal, all that stuff, and I never got into any blues. And now I'm kicking myself in the butt, because the blues is just, there's so much outrageous blues out there. And I noticed you got another one, Train Track Blues. So could you give me a treat and play one of these blues tunes for me?
Absolutely,
And
sure.
I have one other request. When I was reading your bio, I really got fascinated on you and your grandfather. And I noticed on your albums, what songs you have on your albums, I noticed you got a song called Grandpa. But I don't see it anywhere on your CDs. Is it on a CD?
It is on a
CD?
It is? Yes.
Could you play
Yeah.
that?
Oh, sure. I'd love to.
I played that at home, and I just stared at the screen. It was
Sure.
a great song.
I'd love to.
All right.
Absolutely. Okay, so
gonna bring us
blues
some-
and something about
And Grandpa.
Okay.
Some more Connie Howard for you folks. Don't be afraid to call when she's done playing. That all right now? Reminded me of when I used to work in the bands, running up and fixing stuff.
Thank you. You were so quick. I think I hit it. All right, this is called Train Track Blues. It's 1 a.m. I stumble in, catch the morning news. I
can't hear me clack. My mind keeps running back to the way we were last summer. Feels like a heart attack. We didn't meet in a bar or a smoky cabaret. We're from two very different worlds. We're not the old-fashioned way, but the moment you loved me, knew I'd never love again. Till you returned to me in your arms, oh, I didn't know when. When you touch me, I melt. When you look at me, I die. 'Cause in my arms, I've never known such a warm and sexy guy. And though you never say you love me, I feel it in your touch. It's by the sound of the railroad tracks I miss you so much. And don't you want someone who loves you? Want someone who cares? Want someone who loves you? You know where, you know where. Alone with the memories of all those crazy nights. We made love until the morning. You made everything so right. Now I haven't given up. You said that you'd be back. Those words echo through my head with each train along the track. When you touch me, I melt. When you look at me, I die. 'Cause in my arms I've never known such a warm and sexy guy. And though you never say you love me, I see it in your touch. It's by the sound of the railroad tracks I miss you so much. And don't you want someone who loves you? Want someone who cares? Want someone who loves you? Oh, you know where, you know where. And let the train take you there.
That's a nice little touch. I like that. That was nice.
Thank
That's
you.
nice.
Thank you very much.
Well, if you ever decide to get rid of all the other music and just go for blues, you'll be a great hit.
It's funny, I'm writing a lot more blues these days. I don't know if it's just like being on the water or, you know, being away from Nashville. There wasn't that much blues.
No.
It was just pretty much mainstream country. So just being up here, I've been writing. There's so many great blues bands up here.
I know it.
Great blues and jazz too.
And I noticed a lot
it's
of
a real
women
treat.
a lot of women are coming up in the blues
Yes,
music.
yeah.
A lot. So you're
So
gonna
that's
play
been a nice influence. I'm starting to write a little bit more blues than before. So
That was nice. It had a nice sound to it.
thank you.
It had a little of that old flavor.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay, so now the song about my granddad, which is pretty self-explanatory. When I was a little girl, I'd sit upon his knee and listen to the magic stories of when he was young like me. The son of a captain who took a different trade. Oh, Grandpa, these memories never fade. He taught me how to drive a car, taught me how to sing. I watched him work with loving hands, make me a silver ring. Days on the farm, hard and long, but he always had time for a game. Without my grandpa, I wouldn't be the same. He gave the gift of music, taught me all I know. You have to play it from your heart and let your feelings show. We'd play duets, sometimes I'd forget, but patience is his rule. Oh, my grandpa, he never lost his cool. Teacher and a very best friend, together hard to find. So when I think of growing old, I have some peace of mind. I won't fear when the days grow near. I'd rather hope to be all of the good things my grandpa's been to me. These are some of the memories that will never leave my mind. Oh, my grandpa, he's one of a kind.
What do you think about when you're playing that song?
Aw,
You must go all
I just have
over the
such great
place.
memories. Yeah, he was a really, really great guy. It was really nice to have him around for a long time.
You can either come back and sit and talk with me here, or you can just stay there and we can talk back and forth.
Okay.
All right.
I can stay here if you want.
That way you can play more.
Okay.
I noticed when I was reading about you that you used to play accordion. You still play accordion?
That's funny, I did. That was actually my very first instrument. I mean, aside from sitting on my granddad's knee and playing, fooling around with the piano, my first, lessons in a music school were on the accordion. And before I switched over to piano, and I played for a long time. I played actually in an accordion orchestra, believe it or not, with like 20 accordions, and we
20 accordions?
play all sorts of different modern stuff, modern songs, not just polkas. I love the accordion. I think it's, especially in bluegrass, it's made a big comeback in the last 10 years or so. And so you see the accordion in a lot more bands, and I really enjoy the sound of it. Every once in a while, I'll put it on one of my a song. I'll just use it in different pieces. Actually, I have a song that we just recorded in Nashville that it's kind of a cabaret-ish song. I wrote it when I was in France, so that the choruses are in French, and I think I'll put some accordion on that song.
How old were you when you went down to Tennessee for the first time?
I was in my mid-20s.
And did you know somebody down there, or you just said, I'm going down to Tennessee where the music is?
Well, actually, my sister was at graduate school there, and I went to visit her, but I didn't know any musicians or anyone in the music community, really.
So how'd you get that first break, sort of?
We went to the very famous club down there is called the Bluebird Cafe, and that's where a lot of songwriters got their start, like Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood. Back, some of the older country singers, where industry used to come and actually go specifically to this place to hear some of the new songwriters to discover them. It doesn't happen so much anymore because it's just become so commercial, especially with the show Nashville that's on ABC these days. It's just the industry is just bombarded with so much talent that they don't have the time really to go out and discover new talent in that same way. But I went to the Bluebird and heard some songwriters play and just thought, this is what I want to do. I want to give this a shot. you know.
So did you just get up and stop playing? Or?
Well, no, you have to audition. That's a really long process to be able to play there. They give auditions once a month, and then you're not booked till like 3 or 4 months later to play 2 songs. And then if they like you, then you can book a full show. But I've played a couple different shows there, and that's like the mecca for songwriters to really be able to play at the Bluebird.
You've done a lot of Broadway stuff. Are you working on anything? Any scores for any Broadway shows coming up or anything?
Well, I'm kind of, you know, dug up a musical that I've been working on and off through the years that I'm hoping to find some collaborators now that I'm back in, you know, closer to New York and can reconnect with some people I used to do more of that type of work with, and maybe revive it and really start working on it more seriously again.
Is this your own musical?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's funny how musicians always have their musical that they work on for like who knows how long, and then it finally comes out. I'm sure it'll be
right.
It will be well when it gets there.
I think so.
Who are some of the artists that you've recorded with? Who sticks out in your mind? That might not be a fair question, but
well,
because I'm sure they're
Andrew
all
Gold,
great.
who wrote "Thank You for Being a Friend," was just one of the most incredible songwriters that I've written with. We actually have co-written a couple songs with. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago, but that was an amazing experience. Billy Burnett, who was with Fleetwood Mac for many years, wrote with him. Paul Taylor, who played keyboards for Journey, actually, for many, many years. And and all of those people I co-wrote with. I don't have songs that like they recorded specifically, but we were writing songs for other artists. I'm trying to think of other names that you might know.
That's quite a list right there. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't imagine walking in a room with some of these people and sitting down to play, and you're looking at them and saying, "Oh my God, what am I doing?"
It can be pretty intimidating, but.
I would like, if you would, please, to, we got about another 5 minutes because we have to end a little sooner than normal because we got a show after this coming up and we need to make room for them. So we have about 5 minutes, and I would like you to just play us through the rest of the show. And I want to thank you so much for being on my show. I mean, you've... I can't even think of the words for it. I mean, you've done a fantastic job. Your music sounds great. Anybody out there, you would see in her Facebook page on the bottom of the screen, look her up. You can contact her there. You can get some of her material there. And I hope to see you playing out here soon somewhere. I'd like to come see you play.
Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, thank you so much
and
for
I hope
having
in the
me
future,
on.
I hope in the future you'll come back. I mean,
I'd love to.
So
Appreciate it.
I'm trying to think of what I could con you into playing here. When you were in France, I see 2 songs here underneath about when you were in France playing. It's called "I'm Worth It" and "Train Track Blues." Are those songs you wrote in France?
The blues song we've already played, but the other one I can certainly play.
And that's one that you wrote in France?
Yeah.
All right, if you can play that, and then if we got more time,
just let me know.
Just play whatever you want.
Okay, perfect.
All righty?
Thank you again for having me.
Oh, thank you very much. It was an honor.
Your mind. Secrets lay deep, but love is blind, and I'm worth it. Wait and see. Gypsy soul loves to wander far away, so far away from home. Though you may not be always by my side, my heart will never roam. Je veux vous parler en français si vous voulez une surprise. Je veux savoir tout que vous just what you'll get. You might want to invest in some time with me, 'cause secrets lay deep. Now I'm worth it. Wait and see. So what you see may not be just what you'll get. You might want to invest in some time with me, 'cause secrets lay deep. Now I'm worth it. Wait and see. Je veux vous parler en français si vous voulez une surprise. Je veux savoir tout que vous aimez, et ça m'a fait un grand sourire. So what you see may not be just what you'll get. You might want to invest in some time